Oh, we're gonna watch the guy die.
Arquette trying to keep the blood in, it looks like, holy.
I've been doing this so long that I looked at his neck and there was nothing square, and he was fine. He had a little bit of a cut and a leak. And I was like, oh, he's all right. Let's keep going. You know, another thing is you know, he tried to spin and hit a double shoot on me when I'm crushing the glass on his head. Dude, I'm like, relax, calm down. I'm gonna crush it. I'm gonna carve your fucking head with the glass. You know, that's all I'm gonna do.
So how did he get the light tube in his neck?
He spun and tried to shoot a double on me, and I had the glass in my hand where I was gonna, you know, I know what I'm doing, man. You know what I mean? And when I was here, he spun and it went in his neck. And at first, I was like, damn, did I just kill David Arquette? That was my first thought in my head, right?
Strange turn of events.
Explain to me how this happened.
Well,
this was around Ready to Rumble?
Yeah, I did Ready to Rumble. It was sort of afterwards, and the movie didn't do so great right when it came out. So I was, you know, I was making an appearance on WCW just once, and just jump into the ring and like get involved, and then someone like beat me up, and then I was done.
You agreed to do that?
Yeah, I know I agreed to do that. If that makes any sense. But so they beat me up, and they liked sort of how I got beat up, I guess. So they asked me to
were these
come
guys
back.
actually hitting you, or I mean, how much? We all know it's
There's a certain
it's
amount of
theatrical, to
contact.
say the least. But were they throwing you around?
Yeah, well, you get, you know, they call it taking bumps when you take a bump.
This time of night, that refers to something else.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's
You
right.
know what I mean at that point. But how did you get the title?
Well, they just asked me to sort of be a part of it and kept me. They said, "Can you commit to being on the show for a couple weeks and do a pay-per-view?" And I was like, "Sure." And then, you know, part of that was they gave me the belt.
How did you get the belt, though? You actually beat the
turn
champion?
of events. You know, it was like you know, a four-way dance, they call it, I guess.
Right.
It was me and Diamond Dallas Page, who was my buddy, Lil Page. Come on, bang.
Right.
I just
Who you
threw
hit
up
over the head.
The diamond cutter. Yeah, and against Jeff Jarrett and a guy named Eric Bischoff, who was the owner of the company. And then somehow I won the contest and won the belt.
But Dave, here's what happens. You're an actor. You're there. You're really doing this kind of as a promotion for Ready to Rumble. You get things going again in that world, and you end up agreeing, and you get the belt. But you're actually at this WCW and the fans. They're crazy about the wrestling.
Yeah.
How did they take to the belt going to an actor?
They didn't take to it very well. I got slammed.
When you got
so
the
hard.
belt, what was the crowd's reaction? Like, David, or were they throwing things?
Some were. I mean, there was just like gasps and people fainting, and then you know, there were people crying. No, how? Why? This can't be real.
He's not a real wrestler.
I know. They went off. They're like, you know. I would understand if it was someone like Robert De Niro or who's this guy? Some pitchman for a telephone company. How could he? They took it all serious. I was like, come on, you know, it's just
Dialed down them. That could have been like your signature move somehow.
Well, I did say I'm gonna 1-800 kick one time. Just
But
That was my line.
This is Arquette. Here it is. This is sports entertainment history. That is.
What's his art? David Arquette just, But then again, if you talk to him though, it wasn't his idea. He was just the guy calling he had the final say on it, and so he goes down with the ship. Which, well, he still goes down with the ship because he did have final say. So he could have said no.
Let's welcome the star of the 2000 WCW vehicle, ready to rumble, and indie wrestling darling, David Arquette.
Me too, man. Hit me, my turn. You pursue all the humanity.
Jimmy King's all right by me.
Hit him, King. He's an old man.
Gave him a little flick. No, you kicked him in the face.
David Arquette, you do you. You do whatever you want.
You do you, boo.
Of everything that you've done, all the accolades you've had, and everything you've acted in, where does winning the WCW championship rank in there?
It's pretty far up there. I mean, I love living all these separate little lives, and that was definitely a moment I'll never forget.
If Vince McMahon gave you a call, would you wrestle again?
Yeah, well, they had me on one show.
Yeah.
I was pretty out of it, but hopefully they'll give me a second shot to go in there and just. I love the whole business, and I love that there's so many families involved, and I really respect the wrestlers. So.
I'm a huge fan of your early work, Ready to Rumble.
Thank you.
I saw that you returned to a wrestling ring this past week. What's going on here?
Well, I just announced today on Wendy Williams that I will be returning to wrestling. There's a bunch of people out there that have been upset that I won the championship 18 years ago.
Right.
So I started getting in shape. I started training with an amazing wrestling coach named Peter Avalon.
Yes.
The professional Peter Avalon, PPA all day.
Yeah.
And then just doing jujitsu with Regan Machado, another champion, and boxing with Ricky Quills, another champion. So I'm excited to be getting back in the ring.
So are we going to see you come back and go for a title shot? Are we seeing a Ready to Rumble 2? What kind of things are in the works?
Ready to Rumble 2, I don't think will happen.
I mean, let's go. I got DDP's number. Let's call him up.
I know. I'm going to be doing some DDP yoga. That's for sure. I'm going to go interview him and just sort of see what he's doing.
So you looking to get in with WWE? You looking to do?
I love WWE.
Yeah.
I've always been a fan of the McMahons and Vince and everything they've been doing over there. But, you know, it's a real weird relationship with me and wrestling. So I'm just here to clear my name. People have been giving me a hard time for 18 years. I'm sick of it.
About how you haven't gone back out there into the ring because you've got some skills.
Just that I never deserved it. Put some respect on my name.
Yeah.
Put some respect on my name.
People ask me why I'm wrestling. Not because I don't have any more money. I'm wrestling because I'm fucking crazy. Maybe some of you saw that death match against that bitch, Nick Gage. Fuck you.
Just to say, you know, a lot of people would, and I think a lot of people thought this when you started wrestling, that, oh, he's an actor and now he just thinks he can do this. But I think they underestimated how much you really love wrestling and that you clearly have committed your body to this.
Yeah, so 20 years ago, I won the WCW champion, but I never had proper training. So as you just saw in that clip, we got a ring put in my backyard, and then I trained with Peter Avalon, an incredible wrestler and trainer, and just really got up to speed. It takes a lot of abuse on your body.
Maybe a cat's asshole booked this. We see a parking lot here. I think it's 3,000 miles to Graceland or something like that. But we see Courtney Cox talking to David Arquette with the big gold belt around his waist.
Yeah.
And he's saying that he's just got to figure out how to get this thing on. It doesn't fit that great. And she goes, yeah, because you're not a wrestler. In a little recap of how the hell we got here.
Yeah.
Tony, you just want to fall on your sword right here for God and everybody and tell everybody whose fault all this silly shit is?
Well, I'm not going to take complete blame for this, but I was in the conversation, okay?
Yeah, you should take complete blame for
Okay,
it.
here's the fucking story. Okay, here's the story. All right, I've told it before, but you want me to tell it again?
I do.
They were having the match, and Vince Russo concluded the meeting, and Vince and I was just sitting there, writing some stuff, looking at him, and he said, "So what do you think of the show?" I went, "It's okay." He says, "Is there anything we should do different?" I said, "No, I think it's good." And I said, "You know, there is something you may want to consider." And he looks at me and we stare at each other. He says, "So you think you're trying to tell me that maybe we should put Arquette over?" I went, "Well, it certainly would give us a lot of exposure." And he said, that's a pretty good idea. So that's kind of how it happened. Okay. It was kind of a joint thing. You know what I'm saying? A joint thing. Alex, you know what I'm talking about, a joint thing. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Hey, listen, I'm no Prince Nana. Let me just say that.
Let's do this like it's supposed to be done. Let me put that belt down for a second because, you know, David Arquette, he roll up in here like it's 1980 with that jacket on like it's the Jackson 5 victory tour. So today, I'm going to call you Tito. Because Tito, he always got the scrap. Tito was the one that never got the girls, and that's kind of like you. I mean, he did, what was that? Ready to Rumble, it was pretty good. He did Scream, it was all right. He did Eight-Legged Freaks, but in the last 20 years, this man ain't done nothing that didn't go straight to DVD, and we all know that. But let me tell you something. It was April 26, 2000. The man showed up in WCW. He was challenging for the WCW Championship versus Diamond Dallas Page. Oh, how did that go for him? Oh, he walked away, the champion, then to the back into the dressing room. Who is he sitting across from? Booker T. Oh, lowly Booker T. He asked Booker T, "Hey, Booker T, how many times have you won the world championship?" And I look at David Arquette and I say, "I never won the WCW championship."
True story.
David Arquette's, he looks back at me. I look back at him like I want to go whoop his ass. But I say, no, I ain't going to do that. David Arquette commenced the next night, go out on national television, and he holds that title up and he says, "Hey, I don't deserve this title. People like Booker T deserve this title. People in the back that's working real hard, they deserve this title." That showed me what kind of person that David Arquette really was. I know he came up here and cut a promo on me, but the last words he said was, "I love you." And I must say, brother, I love you, because if it wasn't for David Arquette, the spark that lit the flame, Booker T may have never became one-time champ. I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that.
That's not the first thing he saw. The first thing we saw was Sheriff. I don't believe this.